Tony and his wife have lived a great life so far. They have an amazing savings, amazing budget set up, and they're overall in great financial health. However, their only sin that they've committed is they've chosen to live in a high cost of living state, California. Is having a great financial situation enough to become a homeowner in California? And if it is, should they buy? Let's find out. Hey guys, it's Javier Vidana, or you can call me Javi. And in this series, we basically evaluate people's situation on whether they should or can buy a home in this market. So we are going to be using what basically we've been using for other videos, which is we're going to base it off a ranking scale of market, budget, and savings. This is the 3 pillars of Javier's home buying triangle of excellence. Depending on how all these things are, you're going to get a good idea of if you are in a position to buy. Whether you decide to pull the trigger or not is totally up to you. So in this video, we're going to start off with the budget, okay? Because quite frankly, I'm very impressed with their budget. These guys, I mean, normally people just send me like a few ideas of, you know, hey, this is my budget broken down. These guys sent me their freaking whole income broken down and like what goes into federal income tax, Medicare, Social Security, 401k, everything. I appreciate the effort, but for the future, everyone else, I don't need to know all that. Just give me your gross and your net income. But either way, good for you. Just seeing that, I already knew, okay, I'm dealing with someone who knows what goes in and out of their bank account. I'm dealing with someone that's like, hey, if the wife, I don't know the wife's name, I apologize for not knowing your name. If Tony goes out and gets some tacos with his buddies, the wife's like, yo, what's going on? What are you doing? Anyways, so with all this great stuff they sent me, their budget was also included. So what I did is I got their budget and I just put it in just a spreadsheet that I literally just on the spot made up. And essentially I added here a percentage of what was their income is. Like their net income right now is $94.66, which is amazing income. Like in any other situation, telling anyone that's what you make net a month is amazing. So first and foremost, Tony and wife, pat yourself in the back. That's amazing. You're in your 30s or starting your 30s and you're making that much money. That's amazing. Regardless of how crappy housing is, you deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Now, current budget, I mean, we're not going to go really into what's bad or good without it. It looks very detailed. And hey, I'm not hating on the nails. $100 a month. I'm a classical guitarist myself, and I have to have the nails in good shape. So I don't blame you. Prescriptions, insurance, grooming, miscellaneous. I'm assuming this is the Javier. You don't need to know all of my details. Fun. So it's all good. It's all good. So what I enjoy about your budget is you sent me this as well. Now here's what I really like about your budget. Okay. You make it look like they're expenses. You added it as part of your expenses, but really this is just like leftover money. You essentially was at $4,045, $4,100, $4,200 left over every month after all your expenses. But I can tell you're a fan of zero-based budgeting. So you knew that every dollar had to be put to work, and you are literally paying yourself, paying your house saving funds every month, your Roth IRA, her Roth IRA, and you're left over at zero. So for everyone else who's not budgeting and you're like, why is it zero? Well, it's because technically after their expenses, they have $4K left. They have $4K left in their bank. Most people, what they do is like, okay, I have $4K. Let's go buy some. Let's go to Target. Let's go on vacation. Let's go freaking bottle service. Maybe not that. It gets spent. Like more money equals, let's find a way to spend it. These folks have that extra money left over and they assign it on their budget as an expense instead of like going and spending it. So it makes sense why your retirement's at this age, which we'll talk about your retirement and your house savings right now. It makes sense why these funds are great because you actually are planning. You've done everything great. So kudos to you. Now, how are these funds going to look like once we add an actual monthly payment? Obviously, this won't be house fund savings no more. Once you buy a house, it'll be like just a general savings maybe, or I don't know, more investment funds. But anyways, or probably actually knowing you guys, you're probably going to put that money towards like buying down the, like, you know, paying extra payments to pay your house as soon as possible. So anyway, the point is, here is what you currently afford. Now, remember, this isn't like amazing. It's like, oh my gosh, you're making almost $200,000 a year, but technically you can only afford 23 to 28, 39. Now, you guys might be seeing that and saying, that's insane, Javier. They should be able to get a much bigger house. And yes, you're 100% right. A lender will look at your gross income to qualify you for a house. Now, it is up to you to know what your budget is. It's up to you to be like, thank you, that's amazing, but I want to be around this as my monthly payment. Now, is it enough for your market? We'll figure that out a little bit later. But technically, based on what I'm seeing, you should be in this range for affordability wise. If you go talk to a lender, because you're making, what was it, 180, so approximately 15K gross, they're gonna say, hey, congrats, you qualify up to $7,000 monthly payment. And as great as that sounds, it's gonna eat up almost all of your income, right? And definitely you're not gonna be able to do all that stuff. So, and it wouldn't be 7,000. I think it'd be closer to like 5 or 6K around there, right? And I don't think lenders are like, they're not all inherently evil and they're gonna qualify you, but the point is, your biggest red flag is not something that you're doing, but the fact that anyone who sees this budget, anyone is meaning like lenders or anyone looking to help you buy a house, they're going to start foaming at the mouth. They're going to say, oh my gosh, it's a perfect situation. And they're going to put yourself in potential peril. So first and foremost, excellent budget, just great position. Like, I'm not going to go and like start breaking down like, why are you spending this much for grooming and insurance? What's wrong with you? No, like, dude, just having an understanding of what's going in and out of your account every month and planning for putting that money to use before you go spend it, that's already amazing, right? I'm not the channel here to tell you what you're doing is wrong or right. You have a clear understanding of what you're doing, and you should be able to continue doing that. The only thing that's concerning, as I said earlier, is nothing to do with you, but more or less with the quality versus affordability conversation. You're going to be able to qualify for a huge amount of money. Lenders, realtors are going to be freaking foaming at the mouth when they look at your situation. You have to have the fortitude to be able to say, this is what I can afford and this is where I want to be. Even though you're being told, hey, Mr. Moneybags, Mrs. Moneybags, you guys are making a ton of money. Let's go get you a mansion. You have to be able to stay humble and be like, we're going to stick for this monthly payment. And it sounds so easy to do, but trust me, when you're in that environment, the housing, it's hard. It's hard to do. So, hey, Tony and wife, amazing job with the budget. 5 out of 5. You are in excellent position. And now you're an inspiration not only to the people out there, but you're an inspiration to me. To be able to live off only 50% of your income and have the position and ability to save 40 to 50% for savings is great. And I could totally tell you either made some bad decisions at first and then corrected them and learned from them, or you just made the right decisions. I want to tell people out there that, hey, making more money isn't just going to solve your financial issues. If you have terrible money habits now, you're probably going to have them when you make a lot of money. Because guess what? That's what I did. Mr. YouTube Moneybags over here thinking, well, yeah, once I start making more money, everything will be... No, the habits will follow you. You will not change. Let's follow the example of Tony and his wife and have good habits from the beginning and let those habits grow into something very beautiful. So congratulations to you guys. So now let's talk about your savings situation. Now, savings is important because we need to have not only the ability to afford have the down payment for the house, but have cushion, have emergency funds just in case. And it seems like a simple conversation, but a lot of people are just so focused on buying a house, they don't bother saving anything else. So the 3 pillars, and I always tell people, you have to do this in order. Build your emergency fund first, start your retirement fund, then focus on housing. And as a caveat, you mentioned that you were going to have kids soon, so you're not necessarily in a position yet. But if you have kids or you have any kind of family that depends on you, set up a trust before you start working on your housing fund. It might cost you 2 or 3K. Do it. Set up your trust. Go get that done. Go get your freaking health, your life insurance set up. I don't know anything about that, and so I'm getting involved in that, so I don't know. But at least set up your trust. If you have people depending on you and your all that stuff, right? Have that set up before you go get a house. A lot of people decide to say, well, once I get the house, then I'll start doing all these things. No, become the person you want to be first, then the house will come. No, don't just get the house and then you're going to think you're going to turn into the person that you want to become. But anyways, I'm not going to share all the information, but let's just say for emergency funds, they're set at 25K. Their retirement is very healthy. I don't think you're including it says here that you were getting paid, your wife is a teacher. Man, I made a video recently about 2 teachers that are making 51K each. So you guys are obviously probably very experienced teachers, or she is rather, not you. Looks like you guys have solid pension plans with your employers. That's not even included with your 401k and your Roth IRA. So, but either way, very healthy retirements that are clearly being built for a while, like almost well into the 6 figures. So you passed that with flying colors as well. So we're good here. We're good here. Now, emergency funds, 25K. Is it enough? Well, right now your total expenses are what, 5421. Even if you can get a monthly payment, maybe it's like what, 6K. So yeah, I mean, 25K I would say is enough for sure. So yeah, you're good there. Retirement, you're so good at retirement. And please don't pull that out to buy a house. Keep that separate. You have to have different lines to invest. So you're doing that great. Your housing fund, because you've been aggressively growing it, it looks like you are in the $80,000 range. Is that enough? Well, we don't know the price range yet, right? It looks like you're looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom, new built in the last 10 years. Don't want to mind a condo. And you're looking in Chino, Corona, and Rancho Cucamonga. So we'll see if that works. But either way, your savings is also in great shape. So 5 stars so far. Excellent, excellent. You have took care of yourself first before you are now focusing on your house savings. So amazing job. I would say that down payment savings fund, I would just call it a housing fund. Like, you're gonna obviously pay your down payment from it and any fees, but like try to pad that more so that way you have some extra cushion for any repairs you might need to do right away. You might not have the idea that you want a fixer upper, but you might just find the best house for you at that moment, and it might need some work before you move in. So having that extra cushion there. So I would just change your phrasing a bit and just call it housing funds. That way you know in your brain that it's not just for down payment, it's for other things, and it'll kind of motivate you to keep growing and building that. So let's analyze this freaking market, shall we? All right, I'm working on building out the search. By the way, I had a realtor reach out to me in my last time I did a video like this, and they are like happy to service the area of the person I was looking up, and they're like, send me their number, I'll reach out to them and I'll help them. Dude, no. So if you're a realtor and this happens to be the area you're working at, I'm not gonna give you squat. Stop, get some help. Okay, so just heads up. But anyways, I have some previous, this is from previous times, so I'm gonna take out this, that you're looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom home. I didn't specify the bathroom, so let's just do 1 bath. It looks like you're looking for something 10 years old, at least, or newer. So let's do 2023, geez Louise. You said you're open to condos, maybe? Would not mind a condo either, if that's affordable to us. Okay, so we're doing that. Let me just see what's the lowest price that pops up. Yeah, lowest price that pops up, 520s. And looks like they're condos. What's the first house I got? Let me move this. Let me get the condos and co-ops out. What's the cheapest house? Looks like these new construction houses that are right next to each other. If you can find a new builder that has inventory home and they're really desperate to sell it, the more desperate they are to sell it, the more incentives they give you. So I don't know if these will have something like that, but just as a heads up, maybe go, if you are going to move forward, look into that. But anyways, everything seems to be new construction, new construction, new construction. Okay, so looks like 639 is the first one. That's, oh, well, that was also new construction. What I don't like about this, it says plus. So a lot of times they bait and switch you and they give you like a lower price and it's turned out to be it. So I want like a solid number. Like, it looks like this first solid number I see is like 699. But let's just do this, 558. So how does this look like? I mean, it's not bad. I know these are just models, by the way. Dude, you gotta just, you know, I guess cup your farts because your neighbor is literally a wall away. They'll hear everything, you know. Very cute. I guess this is California living, right? It's just, you make the, not too much space, so you make the best, you make it work as much as you can. So this seems to be the cheapest if you want your own independent like piece of property. Looks like you're gonna be in the 600s for that. So, this looks like a house like that you draw when you're like in kindergarten, you know, just like a, you know what I'm saying? Or was that just me? Anyways, so we're looking to be around 558 for these houses. So let's figure out what the monthly payment looks like, and let's not use the Zillow calculator. Let's just use a mortgage calculator here online. We're going to be at, let's say 560. Now I can see here already, you know, you don't have enough for 20% down. So you're almost there. You're currently saving what, 3,000 a month, 3,000 and 4,000 a month on it. So it will take you approximately about 10 months to get to 20% down. Let's just go with what you have right now for now, which is about 15% around there. I'm hoping these guys have some kind of rate buy down or something. Let me see. Looks like these are just like, it's still the interest list, so I don't even know if these are going to actually be feasible. So I'm thinking the cheapest is like 700,000 range, which sucks. As you can tell, I just don't trust the marketing of new build sites. So I can't know for certain if these are solid or not. Let's just, I guess, be hopeful and say it's 560, 15% down. Hopefully they can do some kind of rate buy down to 5.99. Property tax will probably be on the higher side. I don't know how high. I'll leave that there. I'll leave the home insurance as well. And we are at a payment of $309. And we're running into the same issue everyone else is. The PMI is actually should be there. So the PMI should be like, let's call it like, I don't know, $80 or something. It doesn't work. I mean, you'll qualify for this number. And Can you technically survive off that number? I mean, it'll be 35% of your income, but yes. I mean, you won't be able to save to 3,000 or more. That'll be probably closer to like what, to 1970. You can technically do it. You're just kind of stretching out your budget a bit. Listen, now more than ever, what we don't want to stretch out is your budget, right? Let me just get a good idea of the market. I'm going to take off the year built. Let's do 2-bedroom, 1-bath. We can leave that fine. But let me take out the year build. I just want to get a good idea of what's selling. 294 houses for sale. And last time I did this, someone said that the active houses are also popping up when I did this. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if that's the truth. Oh no, you're right. They're right. It does include the for sale ones. That sucks. Can I just see the ones that there needs to be a better way of looking at data? This is just so insane. I don't want to see the ones that are brand new. I want to see what's pending. I guess what we can do is we can uncheck this. There's 294 results. If we add the pending and under contract, we go to 498. 498 minus 294 is 204. So there's 204 houses pending. So did you follow me? That makes sense? Yeah, it looks like there's more houses for sale than there are houses selling. According to Zillow, your home values are dropping. They dropped about a 1%. It looks like you did the same thing most people did. In middle of June, July was the peak, dropped, and it's slightly going up. According to Redfin, the median sales price is $756, which makes sense why all those new builds are like, I see that. So I told you something seemed off about it. So it's probably closer to 756. Less houses are selling, less median days on market. Homes sold above list price. That looks like that has dropped considerably. It dropped in the COVID time, has increased, but it still looks like it's happening. So California or these specific cities is one of those weird, just hard to nail down areas where without actual MLS data. So I'm going to leave it for the comment section. Anybody who is already in touch with a real estate agent in these areas, or perhaps you are an agent in these areas, please leave a comment below. I'll make sure to try to highlight it or pin it or give it a like so it gets set up. What's going on in this market? Is the prices going up? Are they going down? I don't care to know about your opinion. I just want to know data. How much active listings are there today versus pending under contract versus sold listings? And if you have monthly data for that, that's even greater. Let's see if we can help this family out and see what's going on, because regarding the data, I've been using like Zillow, Realtor Truly, and I keep telling people, oh, well, I'm not a realtor, I don't have access to data. But I found this website called Altos Research that seems fairly biased, although they do make their money selling leads to realtors. It looks like it's solid data. Just by plugging in the city here, it can kind of tell me if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. Market has been cooling over time. Plaza's plateaued for a while. Despite consistent decrease, we're in seller zone. Watch for changes of MAI. Median list price is staying fixed. Median price for listings, looks like it went up slightly this past week. It's probably because it was just a brand new listing or something like that. Average days on market is going up. Median days on market is about stagnant. We can see the median list price about flattening here, so it looks like it's not necessarily doing that. Average days on market is for some reason dropping, so there's houses are selling quicker. But overall inventory is lower still. Still on the lower side. Yeah, it looks like it's still seller's market. There's still more buyers than there are sellers in each one of them, and the only city that's showing like it's kind of cooling off is Corona. Well, it looks like it's part of Rancho Cucamonga. The last month seems like it's going more towards the buyer's market. So in the buyer's market, there's more sellers than there are buyers. Seller's market, there's more buyers than sellers. Median list price seems to be dropping here. Average days on market seems to be dropping. You're in this weird situation where your data isn't specifically telling you what direction it is going. It's feeling like it should start going towards a buyer's market, but the numbers aren't quite there yet. And this is what's been like happening for the last year or two. It's like interest rates are going up 5-6%. Now we should start heading that way. No, not yet. 7-8%. Now we should start kind of cooling down, right? And we're all just waiting for just something to happen. And I don't want to just sit here and be like, oh, you should wait for the housing market to crash, because there's no evidence of that. But there's no evidence that the housing market is going to keep blowing up and you're going to get more value. So looking at your budget, your savings, you're in extraordinary shape. The market doesn't seem to be in your favor, only because houses are overly expensive and the interest rates are overly expensive. And quite honestly, California is kind of weird. I don't know if there's going to be a massive explosion of values. Not only do you need rates to drop to like 4 or 5s, you need like hundreds of thousands to be removed from the price. So you're probably gonna have to buy a condo. If I remember correctly, I think I saw some condos that were that cheap. Let me see. Yeah, there's condos like in the 400s, 300s. If you have to own, that's the route to go. But I don't see it being possible for you to buy a single family property anytime soon. And that's solely because of the state you live in. So I'm putting your market at yellow. And if you are, the best word that comes to mind, balls to the wall, you're like, I'm buying, I want to own no matter what anyone says. Get a condo, make sure your monthly payments in the 2000s, low 2000s, and you own a place, congratulations. But it seems like until you decide to do something about where you live, or something happens for you, like the prices massively drop or the rates massively drop, or actually both need to happen, you're probably going to just continue to own a condo or continue to rent. And this is so weird saying this because you have the perfect budget, you have the perfect saving situation, and it's not your fault. But at some point, you said you're gonna have 2-3 years before you start having kids. You're gonna have to make a hard decision, my friend. First of all, can you continue to have this great income somewhere else? Do you want your kids to be raised in where you live, where you won't own the home, but you might be able to rent a decent home, right? You might be able to have a nice condo, right? Are you okay with that lifestyle, or are you gonna go? I don't know. I'm not telling you to move like to a completely different country or state, but it's just not working there. And despite the talk about the housing market busting and all that, there hasn't been anything conclusive to lead towards that, especially in California. So we can keep waiting for the world to change. It's late. If I'm saying John Mayer, it's late. Or you can make some serious changes around your current situation and like moving to a different area, or simply just settling for a small condo. That's what I got for you guys. I'd like to thank our sponsors real quick. YouNeedABudget.com. Links in the description below if you want a great budgeting tool. Also, if you need access to an agent anywhere in the country, the link is in the description as well for that. And if you want to join my Patreon, I get all about a bunch of home buying resource tools and stuff like that. Go ahead. But either way, what do you guys think about the situation? Are you in a similar spot, or what advice do you have for Tony and his wife? If you guys are brave enough to send me your information, send it to contact@javiervidana.com. I appreciate you guys. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next, and I better see you over there, or we're gonna have problems.